very blessed, fortunate, and grateful to His Grace Amrendra Prabhu for taking out his valuable time. There have been already two classes scheduled before that, but Prabhuji kindly accepted this proposal, and he'll be talking about the importance of the spiritual master. Prabhuji is a Diksha disciple of His Holiness Radha Govind Swami Maharaj, and we are very, very grateful, Prabhuji, that you took your time. So with our garland of gratitude, we welcome you. So let's everyone please turn on your microphones to welcome His Grace Amrendra Prabhu by 3 times loudly calling Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
So, thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Shri Vilas Govind Prabhu, for kindly having me over, and thank you for the warm welcome. Thank you, devotees, for kindly joining in. The class was supposed to be served by His Grace Adi Gadadhar Prabhu, but Prabhuji is not keeping well, so I am trying to humbly fill in for Prabhuji's service. So for those who are really disappointed, please forgive me. Please forgive me. You came to hear Prabhuji, but you have to tolerate me for an hour or so. I promise I'll keep it short, and then we'll have some questions and answers. Today is a very auspicious day. Today is the 70th Vyas Puja celebration of His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. It's a matter of great honor, pride, and happiness for me, for someone grown up in Mumbai, right from childhood, to remember Maharaj on this day and pray for Maharaj's long, healthy stay on earth for many more decades to come, to continue to inspire us by his personal example, by his disciples, by his spirit of service. And at the same time, we pray to Maharaj that we all be empowered to walk on the path of his sweet, yet uncompromising Vaishnav instructions, guidance and guidelines, the principles that Maharaj has always stood for: Vaishnav Seva, Jiva Daya, Nam Ruchi, Bhagavat Shravan, Sadhu Sangha, Niswartha Vaishnav Seva, to always serve the Vaishnavas without any selfish intention. So may we all imbibe that mode, and may we offer our obeisances, start our discussion by offering our obeisances to Maharaj and all the wonderful spiritual masters in the movement, in the ISKCON movement, and all the wonderful Sadgurus, the bona fide spiritual masters on the planet, headed by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Namam Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namne Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshatarane Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Gu shabdastu andhakara syat, ru shabda tamanirodhaka, andhakara nirodhitva guru iti abhidhiyate. In the Advaitaraka Upanishad, this has been the definition given for the word guru. When we talk about the word guru, generally when we type the word guru on the Google search engine, you will find table guru, chair guru, yoga guru, chess guru, cricket guru. But you could use the word teacher, that is fine. But the word guru has a very specific meaning according to Vyasadeva. He says, Gu shabdastu andhakarasyat. The syllable gu refers to darkness. What kind of darkness? Not the darkness of the room. The darkness of the consciousness within. What that means is the darkness of ignorance. Who am I? Who is God? What is my relationship with God? What is this world? What is the relation of this world with God? What is the relationship of this world with me? And ultimately, why am I here? And how do I go back to the place from where I came? These are fundamental questions which are answered in Shastra. So when we don't have clarity about the answers to these questions, that is called as andhakara or darkness. So gu shabdastu andhakarasyat. The syllable gu refers to the darkness that is caused in the consciousness because of lack of transcendental knowledge in these areas. Ru shabdha tama nirodaka, and ru means removal of that darkness. So andhakara nirodhitva guru iti avidhiyate. So when you put the syllables together, it refers to that personality who has a complete capability to infuse transcendental knowledge in the heart of the seeker on the basis of the Shastra, to remove all his doubts, to be an encyclopedia of knowledge, and not just knowledge of the head, realization of the heart. Tad vijnanartham sa gurumevavi gachet samitpani shrotriyam brahmanishtham. These are the two qualities of guru. What are the two qualities of guru? Shrotriyam. He must be very, very knowledgeable. Very knowledgeable. He should know everything. Now, when we say everything, don't expect guru to know the spinning velocity of the speed of an electron, or the temperature on a certain planet. Now, these are not the things that the guru is supposed to know. These are details of this world. You can live in this world happily even without knowing these details. But guru is someone who has the answers to the principal fundamental questions of life, which is what we are struggling in absence of, right? So when we say that guru knows everything, we shouldn't expect, does he know the shelf life of a certain vegetable? Does he know the germination period of a certain plant? This is not what guru is supposed to know. This even farmers in this world know. Talking about temperature in another planet, even those in the astronomical field, they know that. You don't need a guru, to know that. So what guru knows, that only guru knows, no one else knows. So don't expect guru to know things that anyone on the street also knows. Now, who is the president of the United States of America? Well, it's possible that the guru may not have the right answer. But that's not what he's expected to know. That anyone on the street also knows. But guru will have answers to those questions that no one in this whole creation has. Very rare, right? So what are the two qualities of guru? Shrotriyam. He should be very knowledgeable on the basis of Shastra. Everything that he speaks should be in line with Shastra. There are gurus in this world. You ask them a question, they will give an answer without touching Shastra. And they think it's a matter of great pride that they don't depend, their answers are not dependent on some Shastra. But that's not the definition of guru. Guru means he who can give answers to your questions on the basis of Praman. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam te karya vyavastitav. Yah Shastra vidhim utsrujya vartate kamakaratah na sasiddhim avapnoti na sukham na param gatim. Krishna has spoken about it in the Bhagavad Gita. So every guru who speaks must align to Shastra. Must align to Shastra. So Shrotriyam, he must be very knowledgeable to uproot all the doubts of the disciple from different angles of vision. And second, Brahmanishtham. He should not be theoretical. He should be a practically experienced, realized personality. We're not talking about a mathematician who knows to add numbers, or rather, let's say he knows to teach mathematics, but he himself doesn't know to solve problems. That's not the mathematician we're looking for. We're not looking for a mathematician who memorizes different tables and teaches the students, but when you give him a mathematical problem, he fumbles, he doesn't know to solve. That's not the math teacher that you want. You want a math teacher who's so good at what he does that he can inspire others by teaching what he's good at, right? So guru ultimately, Brahmanishtham. He's someone who goes the way, shows the way, and knows the way. Most important. He knows the way, he goes the way, and then he shows the way. So he knows the path of the Shastra, he walks the path of the Shastras, and he inspires others to walk on the path of Shastra. This is Guru. So approaching such a guru is a very rare thing, very rare. First of all, the disciple doesn't even develop the desire to find a spiritual master. That in itself is very rare. Because anyone who is, so here's the thing. To find the answer to a question, you should first of all know the question. Right? Out of this 7.5 billion human population that we have, how many of them even think about what their identity is? Where they were before birth, where they're going to go after death. They think it's, like abnormal to think on these things, right? It's something that's really outlandish to think on these things. So someone who's not even knowing the problem, how can he find a solution? So only someone who's sincerely thinking on these questions can introspect and find his way by the inconceivable grace of God. And still it's difficult. Why? Shastra again describes the rarity of the spiritual master. Lord Shiva is telling Mother Parvati, Bahavaha Guravo Santi. There are many, many types of guru. Shishya Vittapaharaka. They're all interested in emptying the pocket of the disciple. Lord Shiva is telling Mother Parvati, Bahavaha Guravo Santi. Shishyas Vittapaharaka. They're all interested in taking away the wealth of the disciple. But Sadguru Durlabham Devi. Oh Mother Parvati. Of course, Lord Shiva is not saying Mother Parvati. Oh Parvati. She's mother for us. Oh Devi. Sadguru Durlabham. It's very, very rare to find Sadguru. Sadguru means not just in name, but in activity. Sat means transcendental truth, and he who walks on that uncompromising path. Shishya Santapaharaka. A Sadguru, a true spiritual master, is not interested in taking away the wealth of the disciple. He is interested in taking away the suffering of the disciple. A fake teacher is interested in taking the vitta, which means wealth. Vittapa. Vittapa means wealth. But the true spiritual master is interested in taking santapa. Santapa means the heat of distress in the heart of the disciple. So therefore, we find in the Bhagavad Gita, till the time Arjuna was not accepting the spiritual master, Krishna as the spiritual master, Bhagavad Gita doesn't even begin. Bhagavad Gita doesn't even begin. There are many tattvas in spiritual path. Nam tattva, the philosophical identity of the holy name. Dham tattva, the philosophical identity of the pastime place of Radha and Krishna. Leela tattva, pastime. Rasa tattva, prem tattva. Shiva tattva, Jiva tattva, Maya tattva, Bhagavat tattva. These are all different identities, different philosophical conclusions. But one tattva which makes sense and which connects all other tattvas to each other is Guru tattva. What connects Jiva tattva to Bhagavat tattva? It is Guru tattva. And then once that tattva has been connected, Bhagavat tattva, Bhagavan showers mercy and Bhakti tattva starts. Bhakti tattva opens up and becomes Bhava tattva, Prema tattva, Rasa tattva are. So all of this makes sense with Guru tattva as the backbone. If Guru tattva is not established, the Jiva can never get Krishna. Not possible. Was not possible, is not possible, will not be possible. There is not a single person who has gone back home, back to Godhead, back to the eternal realm of Vaikuntha without a bona fide spiritual master, without a bona fide Guru. Not possible. The question is why? The question is why? To this, I want to tell you a very interesting story. One very great teacher from the Sikhism, Sikh school, went to the Jagannath Puri temple. And before he entered, outside, his disciples were glorifying him. He went inside and saw the deity of Jagannath in Jagannath Puri. And instead of glorifying Jagannath, he closed his eyes and started glorifying his Guru. Just like when he was outside, his disciples were glorifying him. He went inside, looked at Jagannath and started glorifying his Guru. So the pujari at the Jagannath temple, he got angry. He said, what is this nonsense? You know, outside your disciples are glorifying you, inside you are glorifying your guru. What is going on? Between you and Jagannath, why are you bringing all this guru? So this very great guru of the Sikh tradition, he called the priest out of the temple. And he set fire on the floor, on the ground. He set fire, like a small, lit up fire. And he told this pujari, can you touch this fire? So pujari said, what do you mean touch this fire? You can't touch this fire. Nobody can touch fire. He said, no, please touch fire. He said, I can't touch fire. He said, no, please touch fire. He said, I can't touch fire. And the pujari and the teacher smiled. The Sikh tradition teacher smiled. And he said, okay. And he took a piece of wood and gave it in the hand of the pujari and said, now you touch fire. He said, now I can touch fire because I'm touching that piece of wood which can touch fire. So the wood can catch fire and I can hold wood. So in this way, I am holding something that is holding fire and therefore I'm holding fire. The Sikh teacher then smiled and he said, you can't even hold fire directly with your hands and you think you can hold Jagannath in your heart? You can hold Jagannath in your life directly? Not possible. So just like you can't hold Bhumi Rapo Analo Vayu Kham Mano Buddhire Vacha Ahankara Iti Yamme Bhinna Prakriti Rashthada Aparayam Itastwanyam Prakritim Vidhime Param Jiva Bhuta Mahabaho Yayedam Daryate Jagat. 7.4, 7.5 Gita. Krishna says that earth, water, fire, air, ether are my, separated energies. So the teacher said, you can't even touch an energy of the Supreme Lord and you think you can touch the energetic directly. But the same fire you can touch with a wire medium, with a very wonderful medium as wood. And he explained that you are a jiva. This fire represents God and this wood represents Guru. Taking shelter of that piece of wood that we can hold. Yet at the same time, the wood should be such which can catch fire. Not a guru who can't hold Krishna. He must be so pure. So basically the spiritual master is what you call as an interface, a nice buffer. So he is spiritually transcendental. So whatever he offers Krishna, Krishna will accept. But yet at the same time, he appears to be in a material form, in a human relatable form, so that we can offer our services to him and he being spiritually elevated can offer it to Krishna. But the interesting thing is this is from the perspective of the disciple, but from the perspective of the guru thinks again, he's someone who can't hold Krishna. So he has a guru of his own. And then that guru again thinks I can't hold Krishna. So he has a guru of his own. And in this way, this is an unbroken chain of transparent, selfless via medium of one medium to another, to another, to another, to another, to another, ultimately coming from Krishna. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanura Mardhanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagat Guru. Krishna is the Jagat Guru. And anyone who follows Krishna becomes the Jagat Guru. Then someone who serves him becomes the Jagat Guru. And in this way, the line goes on. This is one example. Another beautiful example is that of a magnifying glass, a lens. You see in a telescope, when you use a telescope to observe any astrological, astronomical positioning or a nice, planet or a constellation, etc. What happens is it is so big, but it's so far away that it looks very small. This is the nature of Krishna. Krishna is very big, but for a conditioned soul, he looks very far away. Therefore, he appears to be very small in our life. But when you look through a telescope, what happens? That small thing in our perspective, which is small, through the telescope looks very big. Why? Because it has a series of magnifying lenses. This is the beauty of Guru Tattva and Guru Parampara. Krishna is like an astronomical planet. He's very big. But at the same time, he looks very small and very far distant in our life. But when we look through the telescope of the Guru Parampara, what happens? We have one after another, after another, after another, transparent magnifying lenses in the form of the spiritual masters in the Parampara. And what is the nature of the magnifying lens? It brings a far-fetched object close in the domain of sense perception, right? But here's the interesting thing. The magnifying lens is all transparent. Therefore, one can magnify what the previous one has already magnified. Imagine if one of these lenses is opaque, is not transparent, then you can't see it. If one of them is not transparent, it is, let's say, opaque, you can see the astronomical object. So similarly, if one of the spiritual masters in the line deviates from the instruction of his guru, then the parampara becomes faulty. This is why evam parampara praptam imam rajarshayo vidu sa kale neha mahata yogo nashta parantapah. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, I have spoken this in the past, but it has got lost with time. This is the significance. Where one of the person starts becoming opaque and opaque and opaque and opaque and opaque by 1 degree, just like a pilot. He has to move according to the directions that he's offered in the aircraft. But if he takes 1 degree off, and then another degree off, and then another degree off, and before he believes and understands, he's landing in a different country altogether. So therefore, the glory of the spiritual master is in repeating what he has heard from his spiritual master. But again, with praman from Shastra. Like a guru in that line cannot just say something from his heart without sadhus in the parampara also saying it, and Shastra also confirming it. So we were mentioning all of this to understand the glory and the importance of the spiritual master, to understand the potency and the need and the emergency and the urgency of the spirit. I'll give you a very nice example. This example, I'm saying very nice example because I remember this example whenever I think of Guru Tattva. There is a very beautiful verse. It says that the occasion is, or the context is, Krishna fell from the chariot. Keshavam patitam. Krishna fell from the chariot. And looking at Krishna falling from the chariot, what happened? Pandava harsha nirbhara. Pandavas became very, very happy. But seeing that, what happened? Rudanti Kaurava sarve. Kauravas all started crying. Ha ha, Keshava, Keshava, oh Keshava, oh Keshava, what has happened to you? How many of us have heard of this pastime where Krishna fell from the chariot and the Pandavas were happy and they were laughing and the Kauravas were crying that Krishna fell? How many of us, on a raise of hands on the window, on the videos that are already on, how many of us have heard of this pastime? Well, none of us have, because this pastime doesn't exist. Oh, but then what is the verse that we just chanted? What is this verse that we just chanted? Well, this verse is true, but this is not how you interpret this verse. The occasion is, there is a dead body which is floating on the surface of water. The word Keshava, K means on the surface of water, and Shava means a dead body. Keshavam patitam drishtva. Seeing a dead body fallen and floating on the surface of the water, what happens? Pandavaha harsha nirbhara. Pandavas became happy. Now the word Pandava is another, in Sanskrit, the word Pandava also refers to fishes. Those who appear in water. So Pandava harsha nirbhara, the Pandavas, the fishes became very happy because they saw a floating dead body on the surface of the water. They thought 1 month ka khana fixed. 1 month we can eat, there is no problem. But seeing this, what happened? Rudanti Kaurava sarve. Now the word Kaurava refers to the wolves, the jackal, the fox. Because the word Kau means bad or very inauspicious. And Rava means call. So when the jackal or the wolves, they howl, this is considered to be Kaurava, an inauspicious shout. So just like the word Pandava apart from the Mahabharata, Pandava refers to the fishes. The word Kaurava, apart from the Mahabharata, refers to those which have a very inauspicious way of calling. That is the wolves and the jackals. Rudanti Kaurava Sarve. They all started crying because they can't swim in the water and eat the dead body. They are thinking, only if this body was on the surface of the earth, on the ground, we could have enjoyed. And therefore they started saying, ha ha, alas, alas, ke shava, ke shava. On the surface of water, there is a dead body. On the surface of water, there is a dead body. So dear devotees, if we read Shastra and we can come across a verse like Keshavam Patitam Drishtva Pandava Harsha Nirbhara Rudanti Kaurava Sarve Ha Ha Keshava Keshava, what is going to happen to our study? We are going to come to an exactly wrong, opposite conclusion of something that doesn't happen, doesn't exist. But it needs a knowledgeable, realized, experienced spiritual master to give the right interpretation and the right conclusion to the apparently confusing verses of Shastra. It is the spiritual master who reconciles. When the spiritual master reconciles, then everything makes sense. I'll give you another example in this regard. I like to give this example of cooking because that's one out of the many things that I don't know. Cooking is one of them. I'm a pathetic cook. And not that I'm proud of it, but I wish I was better. But out of the many things that I don't know, cooking is one of them. So therefore, this example that I'm about to say makes more sense. Imagine you give me 10 different ingredients and you tell me to cook. What do you think I'm going to cook with those 10 different ingredients? Well, I'm going to still make the khichdi because that's the only thing I know. At least that's the thing I think I know. So you give me those 10 ingredients and what am I going to cook? I'm going to cook the same thing that I know every time. But those 10 ingredients, you give it to a Mataji or an expert cook who really knows the do's and don'ts on the kitchen war front. She knows it. So you give those 10 ingredients to her, what's going to happen? We don't eat khichdi anymore. We taste the best of her ability. Right? So the verses of Shastra are like the different ingredients in the kitchen. When we read them, we can decipher and decode and understand to the best of our ability. That's all, nothing more. But when this comes from the lips of a great chef who is having unparalleled expertise in the kitchen of the Shastra with the ingredients of the verses, then when we now taste it, we don't taste what we can grasp, we taste what they can give. Hare Krishna. This is the need of the spiritual master. This is the glory of having someone who has reached that great state of elevation. Therefore, coming back to our Bhagavad Gita, we find that many times devotees ask this question, that when Krishna is speaking from the second chapter, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha happens in the second chapter, then why even include the first chapter in the Bhagavad Gita? Is it a mistake? Maybe Bhagavad Gita has only 17 chapters. First chapter has no Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. Krishna is not speaking a verse there. Then why even include the first chapter? Dear devotees, the first chapter is the most important chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. We read the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita and we see that Drishtva tu Pandavanekam Vyudam Duryodhanastata Acharyam Upasangamya Raja Vachanam Abravit Pashaitam Panduputranam Acharyam Mahatim Jamum Vyudam Drupada Putrena. We see all these verses and we think, what is there? Just arranging of the army? Something very, 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 very intricately significant is there in the first chapter. Dear devotees, the first chapter represents Arjuna, or it shows Arjuna in a certain state of consciousness. In the first chapter, Arjuna is in the mood, just show me the difficulties in life and I will solve them. Krishna, you take me to where my problems are and I will solve them. I know how to solve my life. I know how to solve my problems. This is our mentality. We pray to God so that He fulfills our desires. Senayor ubhayor madhye ratham sthapayame achyuta. Arjuna is telling Krishna, I know where this has to be taken. You simply follow me. When we approach bhakti to pray to Krishna, to tell him what has to be done in our life, we are still battling the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita in our life. Still the first chapter, because we think I can solve everything. Yeah, I need chanting Hare Krishna little on the side and little reading everything. But ultimately, when problems come, I know how to deal on the basis, because I am from IIT, Baba. I am from IIM, Ahmedabad in Calcutta, and I am from Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore. I am a well-established IT professional with 25 years of work ex in North America. I know how to figure things out. This is our problem. We are so happy about the Gandhiva that we can hold in our life, that we think we can solve all our problems. This is still keeping us in the first chapter of our life. When Arjuna falls on his knees, Karpanya dosho pahatasva bhava prichhami tvam dharma samuda cheta yachreyasya nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadhimam tvam prapannam. Second chapter, 7th verse Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna says, my Lord, what to speak of solutions? I don't even know what true problems in life are. I don't even know why they're coming to me. I don't know who I am. My Lord, you please help me. Till now, I thought you're my friend, but actually you're my spiritual master. Krishna, I want you to hold the reins on the chariot of my life. The day we tell Krishna that, Krishna, you don't move according to my desire. You take control of the chariot of my life. And the way you take the chariot of my life, you please give me the maturity of surrender to you, that I can trust you in all auspicious, all favorable and unfavorable twists and turns in life. When Arjuna falls on his knees and tells Krishna, I am your disciple and you're my spiritual master, now you please guide me. That is when Bhagavad Gita begins. For food to be digested, there must be hunger. For the seed to fructify and come out with a beautiful plant and a tree and fruits, the land must be fertile. So the first step in our life is that hunger, that helplessness, that desperation, that on my own, I cannot solve the problems of life. I cannot solve birth, old age, disease, and death. I cannot solve the suffering caused by my restless mind, suffering caused by others, suffering caused by natural calamity. Look with Corona, how all of us are just, sitting in tethered to one corner of our house. We are all chairborne. At one point, we were airborne, but now we are all chairborne. We are all sitting in the chair all day. One little virus can do this to us, and all of our scientific technology and all of our pride for talents and skills and abilities is all down to the dumps, right? When we realize I am helpless, Krishna, you please help me. Then we transition from the first chapter to the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita as far as realization in life is concerned. Bhagavad Gita is not to be just memorized. It is to be led with experience. So till the time we, on the level of false ego, think that I don't need anyone, first chapter. When we realize I need a spiritual master to help me, second chapter, 7th verse. Then the spiritual master chastises. Krishna chastised Arjuna. Klaibyam mamsma gama partha. And Arjuna at that time did not leave the battlefield and said, hey, I just surrendered to you and you're taking advantage and you're dominating, I'm leaving. When the spiritual master chastises the disciple and we leave, then that means we have closed the book of Bhagavad Gita. But we must stay there like Arjuna and hear. Then we progress on the path, on the opening of our Bhagavad Gita like heart. So you see in the Bhagavad Gita starts when the disciple becomes disciplined to accept the spiritual master. Now come to the Bhagavatam. All the sages at Naimisharanya are headed by Shaunaka. Shaunaka wants to be headed by Suta. Suta is hearing all of this in the assembly of Shukadev Goswami on the battlefield, on the banks of Ganga. Parikshit Maharaj, who saw Krishna in the womb, Vishnu Ratena Samprashto Bhagavan Badarainim. Parikshit Maharaj is so great that when you speak about his birth, what do you speak about? you speak less about him and more about how he was protected by Krishna. When you speak about his life, you speak less about him and more about how he was a dharmic king, on the path of bhakti, service to Krishna. And when you talk about his departure, you talk less about him and you talk more about Bhagavatam. This is how great Parikshit Maharaj is. He could have said, I don't need anybody's help because I saw Krishna in the womb. But when he was cursed to have only 7 days, he went to search for Sri Guru in the form of Shukadev Goswami. Shukadev Goswami searched for Guru and accepted knowledge from his father and of course Janak Maharaj, but his father Vyasadev. And Vyasadev also in the first canto we see he's confused. And then the principle of composing and compiling the Bhagavatam comes to Vyasadev from whom? From his Gurudev Narada Muni. The whole Bhagavatam, first canto you see it runs on this theme. Third canto Bhagavatam, Mother Devahuti is hearing from her own son as the spiritual master, Kapila Muni. Let's come to the fourth canto. Dhruva Maharaj, confused, goes into the forest, takes shelter of Narada Muni, gets the Supreme Lord. Fourth canto continues, Prachina Barhi, instructed by Narada Muni, gets the Supreme Lord. Fifth canto talks about Bharat Maharaj. You could be as great as Bharat Maharaj, but if you don't have Guru Ashray, you will get attracted to a deer and you will fall down from the human form of life. Fifth canto. Sixth canto, if you have Guru, but you don't follow him, you will become like Ajamil. Sixth canto Bhagavatam. Seventh canto, you could be only 5 years old. But if you are surrendered to the words of your spiritual master that you heard from Narada Muni, then the Lord will break the pillar to come and save you. Seventh canto, Prahlad. Eighth canto, Bali Maharaj, Shukracharya. If the Guru doesn't let you surrender to the Supreme Lord, reject the Guru. Ninth canto, Ramachandra. Whether it is Ram Leela, Krishna Leela or Gaur Leela, all these three incarnations surrendered to the spiritual master. Ramchandra surrendered, Vashishta and Vishwamitra. Krishna surrendered, Sandipani Muni and Bhagori Rishi. Mahaprabhu surrendered, Ishwara Puri and Keshav Bharati. So without spiritual master, even if the Supreme Lord comes, the Lord himself thinks, I am Krishna Mande Jagat Guru, but still to establish Yad Yad Acharati Sreshta Tat Tat Eve Tarojana Sa Yat Pramanam Kurute Lokas Tat Anuvartate. To set an example, I will accept the spiritual master and I will come. And Krishna is serving the spiritual master so humbly. Mahaprabhu is serving the spiritual master. Ram is serving the spiritual master. And 10th canto, glory of the spiritual master is there throughout. It is by the call of Brahmaji that the Supreme Lord advented. So Mother Earth in the form of the cow went to whom? Went to Brahmaji. And Brahma is Adi Guru. By the help of Adi Guru, Mother Earth got Krishna. And then when Krishna appeared also, Vasudev Maharaj is carrying Krishna. Vasudev represents Guru Tattva. Only Guru can hold Krishna. Who else can hold? And when Guru holds Krishna in our life, the doors of the jail of this world open one after another. The shackles on the feet of the conditioned soul in the form of karma all break. And all the associates of Kamsa in the form of lust, anger and greed, they go off to sleep. When Vasudev like Guru holds Krishna and walks out in this world. How beautiful. Later we see in the 10th canto, chapter after chapter after chapter. In the Damodar Leela, we see Manigriv and Nalakuver, no qualification, but only by the mercy of Narada Muni, who is Guru Tattva. They were given the position of being trees in Vrindavan, which is a very high class position. Yogis and sadhus perform bhajan for lifetimes for Vrajvas. And here Manigriv and Nalakuver are bathing naked in the Mandakini, Ganga, in Kailas. Intoxicated completely, in pride. And they are not offering any respects to Narad Muni, so Vaishnava Parad. And in return to that, Narad Muni gives them the position of being trees in Braj. How merciful. It is only by Narad Muni's mercy so many great souls have got Krishna. Vyasadev got Bhagavatam by Narad Muni. Valmiki Muni got Ramayana by Narad Muni. Dhruva Maharaj and Prahlad Maharaj got the Supreme Lord by Narad Muni. Manigriv and Nalakuver got the Supreme Lord by Narad Muni. Narad Muni himself, in his previous life, described as the son of a Dasi Putra, served the spiritual master, served the Bhakti Vedantas during the 4 months of Chaturmas, and then got Krishna. Therefore, dear devotees, throughout this series of the Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, every canto we see, without serving the spiritual master, we cannot get Krishna. We cannot. Absolutely, we cannot. 11th canto Bhagavatam, we can see Krishna himself gives Uddhav Gita. Uddhava, who is the disciple of Brihaspati, is now hearing from Krishna himself. And same in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we see Mahaprabhu instructing Rupa Goswami, Mahaprabhu instructing Sanatan Goswami, Mahaprabhu instructing Raghunath Das Goswami, Mahaprabhu instructing Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Mahaprabhu instructing Prakashananda Saraswati, and he himself being instructed by Ramananda Rai. This is our parampara. Guru never thinks he is Guru. He always thinks I am the disciple. Eka Bhagavata Bada Bhagavata Shastra, Ara Bhagavata Bhakta Bhakti Rasapatra. There are 2 kinds of Bhagavat. One is the book and another is the breathing book, that is the spiritual master. So when the spiritual master is served, then his possession, that is Krishna, is given as a gift in the heart of the disciple. Otherwise, we cannot get. Whoever has got Krishna has always got by serving someone who is very dear to Krishna. That recommendation principle is there even in this world. Na? When you have to meet some president or prime minister without some internal approval, it's not possible. So we have to accept a very high class bona fide Rasik Vaishnav, Braj Rasik Vaishnav. And by serving him, we will get what is there in his heart. That is Krishna Prem. Therefore, Krishna has said, Mad Bhakta Puja Abhyadika. Those who say they are my devotees, they're actually not my devotees. But those who are saying they're the devotees of my devotees, they're actually my devotees. So dear devotees, this is the mood of Guru Tattva. This is the spirit of Guru Nishtha. This is the backbone on the path of bhajan. To conclude, in the Bhakti Rasamrit Sindhu, out of the 64 limbs of bhakti, the first 5 limbs talk about Guru Nishtha. First 5, Rupa Goswami talks about Guru Nishtha. And at the same time, in the Upadeshamrit, in the Nectar of Instruction, there are 11 verses by Rupa Goswami. But the 8th verse is the essence of all 11 verses. And there Rupa Goswami says, Tishthan vrajet tad anuragi jananugami kalam nayet akhilam iti upadesha saram. The upadesha saram, the essence of all instruction, is sell yourself at the lotus feet of a great soul. And you will get everything that is there in his heart. Canto 5, chapter 12, text 12, Bhagavatam describes Rahu Ganaita Tapasana Yati Na Chejjaya Na Nirvapanat Grihatva Na Chandasa Naiva Jalagni Suryo Vina Mahatpada Rajobhishekam. This has been said by Jada Bharat to King Rahugana in the very famous conversation in the 5th canto. King Rahugana is asking, what is the way to get Krishna? And Jada Bharat gives only one answer. Tapasa na yati, not by austerity. तुम कितना निर्जल करते हो, इससे कोई ठाकुर की प्राप्ति या न प्राप्ति नहीं, उससे कोई मायने नहीं रखता. How much bhajan we are doing, how exalted we are, how many years we have spent, how many shlokas we know, how many songs we sing, how many recipes we can cook, how many garlands we can make. Krishna is not very impressed by these numbers. In the corporate realm, yeah, numbers matter. Krishna is not so much concerned about these things. Rahuganaita tapasana yati, not by tapasya, then not by brahmacharya, not by sannyas, not by grihastha ashram, na chandasa naiva jalagni suryo. Even in the middle of the winter night, you stand neck deep in ice cold water, you will not get Krishna. In the middle of summer afternoon, you set 8 fires around you and sit and remember, still you will not get Krishna. Then King Rahugana feels very discouraged. He said, what is the way then? Jada Bharat says only one way. Vina महत पाद रजोभिषेकम, महत व्यक्ति के चरण के धूलि में पूर्ण रूप से अभिषिक्त होना चाहिए. Bathe yourself by the foot dust of a great soul. What does foot dust mean? Foot dust means instructions and mood. Bathe yourself by the instructions and the mood of a great soul. Till the time we have independence in our life, that I know how to manage my spiritual life, we are not going anywhere. We have to sell ourselves to a great soul. You tell me what to do and I'll do accordingly. When we are ready to do that, let their conceptions, their viewpoint, their ideas, their guidance override our principles. Then we make advancement. This is the essence of Guru Nishtha and Bhakti. So I'll stop here. We have about 5 minutes. So I will be very happy to hear from you if there are any questions or comments. I know there is another plan that is there for your schedule from 10:30 onwards. So for about 5 minutes, we can take some questions quickly if there are any.
Krishna, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for the wonderful katha about the importance of the spiritual master. We're so blessed and grateful. So, yes, dear Vaishnavas, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand. There are a lot of devotees, so and then I can unmute those devotees who may have questions, or you can also type into me if you have a question. So, yes, Bhaswati Mataji, I'm going to unmute you. Please ask your question.
Dandavat Pranab Prabhuji, we are very blessed to have you today. I have my first question is I am thinking of getting initiated, but Prabhuji, my husband is not ready and he's not at all very much interested. So in your previous lecture, you said that one of your many lectures, you mentioned that tell Krishna everything, whatever you have. So I'm telling Krishna about it. So give us mercy. And if you have any comments about it, Prabhuji, that will be great.
Yeah, chant Hare Krishna nicely, sincerely. Read Prabhupada's books every day. You be sincere from your side. Yet at the same time, maintain domestic peace. Don't get very fanatical, because many times what happens is domestic peace gets disrupted because of premature excitement in Krishna consciousness. Sometimes if the husband is given little time, and if he's given little affection and patience, then it's possible that you can walk on this path together. Sometimes we either get too self-centric and we want to run faster, even if that means it is alone. But then in that way, what happens is we think that ultimately it's my Krishna consciousness is not favorable. At least I should make advancement. Yes, that is a very good thought. But in that thought, we should not disrupt his possibility of being Krishna conscious. So it's better to go little slowly, but go together, than try to run away and in that way lead a very bad example. Because there are many spouses we see in this world who, with little time, little affection, little adjustment, they will be favorable little by little by little. And we should understand different jivas come from different conditioning. So we should give them little time to get adjusted and accommodated. So I pray to the Supreme Lord to give you inner strength and to let you and guide you from within. Have patience, Mataji, and keep practicing what you're doing. Yet at the same time, try to make sure you do your duties well. If you neglect your duties and your husband sees that you're spending so much time chanting Hare Krishna that fundamental things at home are not properly met, then if his chance of being Krishna conscious is there in this life, that also gets repelled, because he will think that, oh, Krishna consciousness ke wajah se my wife has become irresponsible at home. But on the other hand, if you're doing your things very nicely and at the same time you're chanting, trust me, he will not have a problem. There is no one who is that bad that they will not become Krishna conscious. It just takes some time. Give him affection, give him some specific, be patient and give him time. Don't do anything unnatural and abnormal overnight. let him adjust naturally, and then I hope and pray things work out for both of you.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Yes. Next question, Kashish Mataji, please ask your question.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Please accept my Dandavat Pranam.
Hare
Prabhuji, Prabhuji, my question is that it's the mercy of Krishna that we get the feeling that it's the time that we should get initiated now. So how to get directed? And all His Holiness Maharajas are so wonderful jewels. We get attracted to so many, and how to decide, how to get directed, how to feel that connection.
Srila Jiva Goswami has given this very wonderful guideline. He calls it the Shravan Guru. Srila Jiva Goswami says one should not jump in and take sentimental diksha very quickly, because sometimes what happens is we get, in a spiritual way, we get infatuated by someone. Say, oh, this person is so nice and that person is so nice. And then one day we feel for this person, one day we feel for that person, and we should not prematurely jump. Srila Jiva Goswami says we should, ideally, according to Shastra, Srila Jiva Goswami says we should take at least 1 year, complete year, and we should see our feelings. If the feelings are steady, if they're moving and we feel the same for every spiritual master, then no problem. Just continue hearing Hari Katha from everyone. Don't take any decision prematurely. Also, how do we understand who is the spiritual master for my heart? It is through their Hari Katha. It is not on other basis like, oh, this Maharaj, he speaks my language, or this Maharaj has, like very good voice, or this Maharaj, whatever. These are not the considerations. So are you saying that tomorrow if the Maharaj loses his voice, we will lose Nishtha for him? That is not the consideration. The consideration is his Hari Katha. By hearing his Krishna Katha, we should develop Krishna Seva Vasana. We should develop the desire to serve Hari. He who kicks our heart maximum to serve Krishna, we should go in that direction and continue to hear from him for a minimum 1 year and take his instructions very seriously in the heart. At the same time, see that the person who's speaking is not just a very flowery orator. He's also practicing what he's speaking. He's very detached. He's not very attached to women. Not very attached. He should not be attached to women. He should not be attached to the opposite sex. He should not be attached to wealth. He should not be attached to position, in the sense that he should not think that he's the spiritual master. He should not be very attached to, having many followers and, I need more chelas around me. This feeling should not be there. He should not have material desires. So someone who's very detached, who's a very, very deep encyclopedia of knowledge, he can uproot any doubt. He who has extreme taste in chanting the holy name, and who's always avyartha kalatvam, always attached, non-stop, without wasting time in the service of Hari, Guru and Vaishnava. So he's living and leading a life that he's speaking. You see that and you hear that nicely in and out. And then you give your heart. When you're convinced that you can surrender 100% and you love him so much that not in any other way, but you surrender yourself in a heart-wrenching manner, that whatever he says will become the mission statement in your life. Then you take Diksha. There is no question of arranged Diksha. Just like you see marriage, it's always this either arranged marriage or love marriage. Right. So sometimes in arranged marriage, I don't want to marry him, but what to do? I had some pressure from this person, from that person to get married to this person. Right. So in Diksha, that doesn't work. Like you can't be forced by someone to say that you have to be taken initiation from so-and-so Maharaj or so-and-so person. It doesn't work like that. Because you may take Diksha, but you're still not surrendered in your heart. Right. It's like taking admission in a university, but you're not studying. You have to take admission in a university and get yourself enrolled only when you have a desire to study that course under that certain professor, right? So same is the principle. If that clarity has not come, pray to Krishna. Srila Gaur Govinda Maharaj used to say, a sleeping person cannot recognize the one who is awakened. If I'm sleeping on the bed, I don't know how many people are walking in my room. But someone who's awakened, he knows who's sleeping. So disciple doesn't pick guru. Guru picks the disciple. The disciple is sleeping. Guru is awake. So we pray to Krishna, my Lord, you help me. I am ready to surrender myself, but you give me the bona fide spiritual master. And we continue doing our bhajan sincerely, and we keep praying. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji. It's perfect. Thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Maybe we can take one last in the interest of time.
Take on the just chat. So His Grace Sridama Prabhu is asked, like, what is the one must sadhana to stay stable in Krishna consciousness? What is the one most important thing in our sadhana to stay stable in bhakti?
Chanting 16 rounds in Brahma Muhurta and every day 1 hour reading Prabhupada's books. If you do this, Maya will not be able to take you out. Not possible. Unless the person starts criticizing. This is another big thing. We can chant Hare Krishna, even 64 rounds every day, read Prabhupada's books also, and you can do everything. Bahu janma kari yadi shravana kirtan tabutana pai Krishna pade premadhan. So we can chant and read all our life, but if we criticize anyone for that matter, Vaishnavas, non-Vaishnavas, whoever, unnecessary criticism, this Sushrushaya bhajana vidnyam ananyamanya nindadi shunya ridam ipsita sangalabdha upadeshamrit. Nindadi shunya. One should be devoid of this quality of criticizing. So criticizing others, especially devotees, Vaishnavas, acting on the platform of sexual desires. These are two pitfalls which take us away from the path of bhakti. Jodi tumi rakte chaho gaurangero sone, choto haridaser katha thake jeno mane. In Prem Vivarta, Jagadananda Pandit has said, if you want to be close to the lotus feet of Mahaprabhu, remember the pastime of Chota Haridas. So two things which keep us in bhakti, chanting and reading/hearing. And two things which take us away is acting on the platform of sexual indulgence and criticizing the Vaishnavas.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such wonderful Krishna Katha and wonderful question answer sessions. We are also grateful to you for you had 2 more classes before this and you are serving the mission of Srila Prabhupada and serving the Vaishnavas with your body, mind, and words in such an amazing way. So we are also blessed, fortunate, and grateful. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for such amazing Krishna Katha.
Thank you.
So I request everyone to please turn on your microphones and videos so we can express proper gratitude to His Grace Amrendra Prabhu for such amazing Krishna Katha and sharing the importance of the spiritual master. So we will chant 3 times loudly. Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Dita Pavan Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Amrendra Prabhu ki
Amrendra Prabhu ki jai.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Prabhuji.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thanks a lot.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So much.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you to all the Vaishnavas for joining from different parts of the world. We are so blessed and grateful. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Mataji is still not sending prasadam.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you. Now we have another program on this Zoom, so we request that
Hare Krishna.
you can sign off and keep connecting on other occasions as well.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. I'm going to be leaving because I go to help the temple. So sorry not to attend the other class.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Ananta koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Same link, Prabhuji.
That's actually, we are ending this, so I think that's a totally different thing. So it's.
Okay.